In this, the last episode of this series of EcoEye, we look at the latest in both wind and water microgeneration. Tanya explores the ecology of the River Shannon, and I look at innovative ways to solve our packaging waste problems. As energy prices rise, and with growing pressure to cut our carbon emissions, the focus is increasingly on renewable alternatives to fossil fuels. In Ireland, two of the most available resources are wind and water, which can be harnessed on large scale, but also on a small scale for microgeneration at a local level. 2 years ago, I went to see Paul Carbery in Baltinglass, County Wicklow. He'd installed a 6 kilowatt wind turbine in his house and had just connected to the national grid. But there was one small problem.
We've actually got a meter now being fitted, but we will export our power. But there's no mechanism there. Unfortunately, there's no mechanism like there is everywhere else in Europe to pay us for this electricity. We're giving it back free.
Earlier this year, on a snow-covered winter's day, I went back to see Paul to see how he was getting on.
If you remember when you were here last, we couldn't sell our excess electricity to the grid. Now, as producers of electricity, be it householders or farmers, etc., who produce electricity up to certain levels, we can export this now to the grid and get paid for this excess electricity.
The ESB is the only utility at the moment providing this feed-in tariff as a start-up incentive. But is this offer economically viable?
To date, we've had approximately 150 to 170 people take up this offer. Remember, the offer was hoping to take in the region of 4,000 people. So we probably need to look at this system again and see why is it not working.
Oisin McCann is a power engineer who's now specialising in this area.
In comparison to the UK, where the state has taken a view that they want to support microgeneration, they're constantly monitoring the feed-in tariff and they adjust that according to stimulate the industry. And that's something we haven't seen here in Ireland.
Michael, a local farmer in Baltinglass, has recently become one of the 170 people who've taken up this offer. He's installed a 6 kilowatt wind turbine on his farm. Michael, do you use a lot of energy here on the farm?
I use somewhere about 10,000 units per year. Electricity is a big bill on the dairy farm at the moment, and I expect to get a good return on the investment.
Where's your turbine?
The turbine is situated almost midway in the farm, and it's on a good exposed site. It's about 300 metres from the milking parlour. It's a 6 kilowatt turbine, and it's producing just over a unit per hour at this stage from the time it went in.
How much did you pay for the 6 kilowatt turbine?
It was just 30,000 including the VAT, but the problem I have with the VAT is that I can't claim it back, or the revenue won't allow me to claim it back.
And why is that?
The term they use is that it's not used solely for producing electricity on the farm. It is being used mainly, but not solely, so they just refuse to pay back the VAT.
So if you put in an oil-fired electricity generator here on the farm, would you get the VAT back on that?
I would, yeah.
But you can't get it on the green energy source.
No.
So when you sell electricity back to the grid, when you've got excess, do you get a good price for it?
No, I'd say the price is not high enough. I think there should be more of an incentive for farmers to install the turbines.
Ireland's feed-in tariff is very low compared to the UK, who have now a very imaginative new tariff of 30 cents per kilowatt hour to stimulate this microgen sector. This gives a payback of 6 to 8 years and offsets the carbon emissions that would otherwise be generated by their power use. So where does that leave us in Ireland?
We're taking this as a move forward, but we need to build on this because the industry is at such a critically low level in Ireland. We don't want to lose the expertise we have here. And to build on this, we'll need to revisit this whole tariff situation.
An area like Baltinglass is a great location for micro wind generation, and there's also potential for small-scale hydropower. I met with Rick McGrath, power engineer. So is there a lot of potential for hydro around the country like this?
Absolutely. We had over 4,000 water mills before central electrification. It wasn't possible to integrate all these at the time, but now with smart technology we can start rebuilding those.
These are the old granaries and mill wheels that we see around the country.
Absolutely. With new technology we can now redevelop these and create thousands of jobs. That's for the old mills, but for sites like this we can use modern technology which is using pumps as turbines.
Rick recently worked on a project installing a small hydro pump system in Glenasmole. Water from a stream has been diverted to a holding reservoir. From there, it's piped into 3 hydro turbines approximately 10 metres below, which creates the head flow and pressure to drive the turbines. I met up with engineer Larry Morrissey to ask him how it works.
On this site we have approximately 25 kilowatts of generating power here, which can be run all year round because of the quantity of water we have on this particular site. We have 3 machines here, one of which is compatible to be grid connected and will be the first ever single-phase grid connection application through hydro to the ESB.
This is the first step, being able to connect to the grid if you're generating wind or hydropower, or any other form of microgeneration. The next step is to be able to connect to a more interactive grid system called a smart grid. I asked Rick how it works.
Traditionally we had a benign grid where you had central control and everything had to filter down. A smart grid combines information technology, two-way communication and power flows going in both directions. So it's a lot more sophisticated than the existing grids.
This is the changing face of electricity generation and distribution in Ireland, making us re-examine the way we think about power. The first electrical revolution was when Ireland got connected to the grid in the mid-20th century, and electricity quickly became the indispensable power source it is today. The potential for microgeneration facilitated by the internet is enormous, as farmers, local businesses and the community can organise into energy cooperatives or smart clusters, hopefully soon to be allowed to supply power to each other and become energy self-sufficient. If all of Ireland's farms had an average 6 kilowatt wind turbine like Michael's, they could generate up to 15% of Ireland's electricity demand over the next 10 years. If we add other larger turbines used by businesses, schools and universities, and smaller ones for homes to generate their own power and sell their surplus to the grid and to each other, we could easily double that figure and lead the way in Europe.